Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ree's Reading, and today I'm doing another video for Gemini. Gemini, this is your reading for the week of the 20th of December. The key theme for this week for you, Gemini, is... Okay, let's see. Ooh, sacred space. Okay. Let's look into this a little bit more of the tarot, okay? I always like to put a card for the theme. What should we focus on? And I like to kind of look a little bit more into what could be surrounding the theme. What are the events that are happening? Right, okay. Ooh, swords. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Cups. I always like to say the Two of Cups is, the Two of Swords is one of my favourite cards. I really just love the drawing of the Two of Swords. But anyways, guys, without further ado, let's jump into this. So, Gemini, we have a sacred space for you, okay? So this is, a theme for the week, okay, and this is really saying to find a spot in your home or your office that you can access easily. Create a sacred spot just for you. This will be a place for you alone. So if this space is, you know, at a premium, then a shelf or a corner will do, and put here items that hold significant meaning to you, and touch you deep, and you know, on a deep personal level. So these can be photos of loved ones, rocks, feathers, shells, you know, place a candle if you're into crystals, you know, if you actually are a reader yourself and you have tarot cards, if you have special books, just put them in the area. And this signifies an element of fire and represents the flames for the Creator's love for you. The fire of creation and purification. So perhaps fire means something entirely different to you, but use this space to go to daily, even if it's just for a few moments, to ground and calm yourself. Working this into your daily routine will bring you to a place of greater understanding. I definitely do believe this. Even in my room, I have a setup where I have my plants, where I've done a lot of traveling, I have, you know, rocks and shells and different things from places all over the world that have really provided very beautiful moments for me. And I like to have this because when I look, it just takes me back to a place in my mind. It just kind of centers me on a feeling of calmness, of appreciation for nature. And I am a water sign, I'm a Scorpio, and I love being by the sea. Now I live in a city, I live in a very big city where, you know, there are no beaches, there are no seas, there is no, you know, coast. So when I get to travel, go to places like this, it really does, you know, enable me to fill these places, to fill these spaces. Now, I think the reason why it's telling you to kind of have the sacred space is because you seem to have been going through a lot. Now, we have here the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is almost waking up from a nightmare. So something really traumatic has happened to you. Check out my reading last week because there was a very similar theme here actually, Gemini, that you had kind of been going through something. So if you haven't, I would say watch the video from last week as well, just to see if that resonates with you. But Gemini, this is a card of bad omen, so kind of predicting death, failure, miscarriage, delay, deception, disappointment, despair. It's a really bad card, and it's sitting in the past situation, which is quite positive, because it means you've overcome something. Now, even though these are weekly readings, it doesn't mean that this has happened last week. The past can be as recent as yesterday, as distant as, you know, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Maybe this whole entire year for you has been a bit of a drag. I do know some Gemini friends, and I can definitely, just by looking at this card, can say that for at least one of my friends, I know they've been through, you know, death of a close person, of a past partner. So, you know, I do really see a theme here, that Geminis, I think they've had quite a difficult year, but you're waking up from it, and I think that's a positive thing. Now, I think the one thing that's quite significant is to look where the last card sits, and the last card is actually piercing through the heart. Now, it physically isn't, because there's no blood, the person's not bleeding, but it's going through the heart and it's going through the eyes, which indicates to me you've seen something you don't want to see and your heart is broken. You know, you've had a knife through the heart. But the positive is we have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles really is a card of money, things coming your direction, positivity, gold. You're being gifted, essentially. You're being gifted with an opportunity, with a new place, to really start over. And I think that's where this kind of having this sacred space, I think, is if you're having nightmares, and I was kind of hold this card with nightmares, if you're having nightmares, if you're having, you know, maybe symptoms of PTSD and stuff like that, I would always say to get medical help. You know, I always feel like in the spiritual world there's only so much that can be done, but I feel like sometimes we do need to take the extra step of seeking help. So if that's something you feel like you need to do, Gemini, then definitely look into that. But I do believe having that sacred space will kind of just help you, especially when you're having these kind of these nightmares or these situations. It can actually take you to a place where you can just kind of feel a little bit more safe, you know, feel a little bit more you. Now, having the Ace of Pentacles in this reading, as I said to you, is a very positive card. It's probably one of the most favourable cards out of the tarot deck. And it really just represents perfect contentment, you know, speedy intelligence, gold. Things are really going to come as a gift. It's a gift of wealth. It's a gift of, you know, wealth is not always money. Wealth can be knowledge. Wealth can be health as well. So that you're being gifted something, Gemini. So you're definitely moving out of a negative space into a positive one. And having the Two of Swords here, which I say is... Two of Swords is always about change. It's always about options, and sometimes we don't really know what our options always are, because sometimes we're not really we're not really privy to them. But it does definitely suggest courage. You know, being blindfolded. It's about making a decision, you know, things with friendships, affection, intimacy, also gifts as well, influence, protection from a man in search of help. So, you know, it's a really positive card. We have the moon in the background, which is quite interesting because we have a balance here, you know, it's daytime with the moon. So it means that things are coming to light. There is a sense of mystery and there is a sense of unknowing, but you're safe, you're in an upright position and you're confident, you know. You're blindfolded, but you're actually prepared. You're prepared, you're not scared, and you're ready to go. Having your hands in the X position across your heart, you're protecting yourself. Okay, so I think this is a very positive reading, and I think really just to kind of focus on having a safe space, a sacred space in your home, in your office, just something where you feel good. And I think really it's really linked to whatever you've been having nightmares with, whatever's been a traumatic experience with you. I think maybe it's just incorporating, if it's a loved one, if you've lost a loved one, maybe just keeping something positive from that experience. You know, you don't have to be reminded of the negative aspects, you can be reminded of the positive aspects. And I want to pull another card for you guys. I've really been enjoying the Power Archangel Power deck because they have such positive messages, and I want to just pull a positive message for Gemini for this week. For Gemini. And it says, when you give, you receive. Being resistant to change. Extremes in how you save or spend money. So I think that's very important. When you give, you receive. So I think sometimes when we go through hardships, one of the easiest things we can do is kind of just shut ourselves off to the world. But I think this card is telling me to tell you to really step out, to step out of your shell, just to kind of put yourself out there, you know. Obviously having the Ace of Pentacles as well, you'll be gifted with something. Ace of Pentacles can always represent money, gold, wealth, as I said. And sometimes actually sharing to people, you would get back. Volunteering, a lot of people say volunteering really does help with self-esteem, with confidence. It just makes people have a better satisfaction out of their lives. You know, don't be resistant to change. Having these two swords of decision, don't be resistant to change. And maybe the blindfold is actually, you know, not to kind of be shut off, but just to be open, because things do get better. You're not always going to be in this space. Things do get better, and you're feeling that because you're already getting the gift of life. So extremes to how you save and spend money, I think it's just a little bit of a, you know, just kind of a reminder, especially just to be mindful. Spending money is, you know, saving and spending money, maybe your traumatic experience is related to money. You know, again, maybe you've had a hardship, maybe you've lost some money in a way, but you're being gifted with that. But just, you don't have to be extreme. You can have some balance, you know. I think it's important to have the balance here. Okay, we have a man and a woman in this. So I like to think of energy, the masculine and feminine energy. So just kind of have a bit of balance here. Give and receive, have the scales balanced. So that is your reading for the week, Gemini. Hopefully this resonates with you guys. If it does, please leave a comment. You know, I'm a small YouTuber, but I still want to see if you guys are actually resonating with this. If there's anything else you would like to see, please let me know. Like, share, subscribe. If you want a personal reading, hit me up. Have a beautiful Christmas. Enjoy the holidays, guys. Catch up with you soon. Bye bye.